We're going to start this program in 1 minute. Please be seated.
Congratulations. Hey, Vince, I just have to say, don't worry. Picture everyone in their underwear. Picture everyone in their underwear. Everyone looks great. I just have to say congratulations. Great job. Oh, Laura. Congratulations.
They were supposed to flash the lights and all, but no luck. Sarah, that's it. All right. Ashley, you ready? Want to get going? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start the program now. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Ashley Nemi, who is a professional singer and an alumna of the CSU College of Law, class of 2022, will now sing God Bless America a cappella. If you are willing and if you are able, would you please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, Ashley Nemi.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Let's hear it, come on! Please be seated. Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2025 CSU Law Alumni Association Annual Recognition Luncheon. I'm Vince Lombardo, the chair of the CSU Annual Recognition Luncheon Committee, and I will be co-emceeing your lunch program with Ashley Jones, the president of the CSU Law Alumni Association. Lunch will be served after the invocation by Father John Schlabo. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And we will continue with our program while lunch is being served. So please enjoy your lunch and the desserts during the program. At this time, I would like to call Father John Schlabo, pastor of St. Christopher Parish in Rocky River, to conduct the invocation.
Thank you, and let us pray. Bountiful God, giver of all that we have and all that we are, we beseech your presence upon our gathering this day. We are most grateful for our honorees, Stacey McKinley and Judge Michelle Sheehan. It is their wisdom, character, and guidance that we celebrate today. May you, our divine judge and guide, fill them with your Spirit to help and guide them in their deliberations and decisions that come before them. Bless their families, friends, and colleagues gathered here to break bread together as we share in this meal. Bless our food and our conversation. Bless those who have prepared and will serve this meal, and make us ever mindful of those who go without. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Bon appetit.
Ladies and gentlemen, throughout this luncheon, you may donate to the CSU Law Alumni Association. Our goal is to raise $10,000 today. We have 20 people offering to match donations for up to $5,000, and they are listed on the screen that'll be rolling. And the instructions to give are on the screen and in the program. Just use your smartphone to open a new text and then text the word law to 243725. Click the link in the reply message to make your donation. We want to raise $5,000. If everyone here gives just $7, we will achieve our goal. So please donate whatever amount you want. Remember that the proceeds of this luncheon fund student scholarships. Enjoy your lunch.
For this law school, I would not have achieved any of the professional success that I achieved.
But for this law school, I would not be on the Supreme Court of Ohio.
I owe, obviously, everything to the law school. It meant everything to my career.
Our law school was founded in 1897. The first law school in Ohio to admit women, and one of the first law schools in the nation to admit people of color. The majority of the judiciary in Northeast Ohio graduated from our law school. 3 of the 7 justices today on the Ohio Supreme Court are graduates of our law school. People like Congressman Louis Stokes, the first black mayor of any major city in America, Carl Stokes. Former Congresswoman, now HUD Secretary Marcia Fudge. The list goes on and on and on.
You feel where other people have walked before, who have mattered in this world, and who have made other people matter.
The law school here at Cleveland State is a huge asset to this community and to really the whole region. You can't think about the progress of Cleveland without thinking about this law school.
The fact that our graduates are so well represented in government and education and civic and business and the professions just speaks well to how we've contributed to the community.
You can't throw a stone in Cleveland without running into alumni who's in a position of power. Our alumni go on to shape and change the city. and the county and the state and the justice system.
I don't know that there is an institution in Cleveland, Ohio that has such deep roots throughout our community more than this one.
The results speak for themselves. The alumni of this law school represent some of the best community leadership, not only here in Ohio, but nationally.
What makes this law school outstanding is the culture, and it starts at the top with the leadership of Dean Fisher.
This law school is welcoming, we're diverse, we are accessible.
It's very caring, committed to excellence, promoting leadership and service.
The primary thing that makes the school outstanding is the commitment of those who have chosen to teach here.
This law school empowers students by providing them with this legal education, but then also providing them with the platform to become leaders in their community.
What this law school did was prepare me.
I was fortunate enough to even try my first case as a third-year law student.
My experience in the law school was extraordinary. You know, I had an amazing education. I had an even more amazing support team.
I made lifelong friendships here. It's not just a law school, it's truly a family.
They care that you're doing well in not just this subject, but your mental health, your physical health.
I remember in the early days of school, they said, look to your left, look to your right. These are your legal colleagues for life. That is the network that you are building from day one.
The school has, from the beginning, been about equity. It started as a part-time school.
I was a night student. I worked as a waiter and worked at City Hall and then came to school at night. And this law school made it possible for me to do that. Otherwise, I would have never been able to go to law school.
Coming to this law school enabled me to see mentors and role models who looked like me.
We care very much about diversity, about inclusion, and we want to make sure that our students who are diverse students feel welcome and included at Cleveland State.
It's very important to support this law school because it's a public resource. It stands for excellence, it stands for equal opportunity.
It just gives everyone an opportunity to pursue their dreams. And once you're here, you have all the assistance you need to be successful.
When students are admitted to Cleveland State University College of Law, we send every admitted student this book, Just Mercy, which is the story of activist attorney Brian Stevenson and his fight against injustice. We send it to our students to send them a message that you should think of yourselves not just as lawyers, but think of yourselves instead as guardians of justice, because that's what they're going to be.
This school taught me to speak up, and I always felt that my teachers had given me the necessary equipment to understand how the law works and what I could do to make it better.
No one hands you justice. You gotta fight for it. A whole lot of fine people have died for it.
Because of this law school, I have lived justice and I have fought for the little guy. It was the confidence and the experiences and the training that I received here that were the foundation of that. When I head into a courtroom and I have a trial and I'm up against some giant corporation that's armed with money and lawyers, you know, I'm like, I got this. I got this.
125 years of having an accessible path to the practice of law. This is just one of the many crown jewels of the city of Cleveland.
There's a lot of history, and for you to have that history behind you to lift you up on all your pillars, it shows that you have a solid foundation and nothing can shake you.
The fact that this law school led in providing a legal education for people who were denied it elsewhere is a huge part of its history and its legacy. So 125 years marks a great legacy, and I believe is a catalyst to the next 125 years.
We're going to start the program. Please continue to eat your lunch and dessert. Please donate to Text to Give. If everyone here donates just $7 today, we'll achieve our goal. Just use your smartphone to open a new text and then text the word law to 243725. Click the link in the reply message to make your donation. We have 20 donors to match your donations. Remember, the net proceeds of this luncheon fund student scholarships. Your attendance today supports CSU Law students, and the net proceeds of this event will go to scholarships for law students and will ensure their success in their legal careers. We are delighted to honor and recognize 2 outstanding alumni. We hope that this special, very special day for Stacey and Judge Sheehan will create many lasting memories for them, their families, and friends. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize certain people that helped make this event possible. Your program lists the members of the 2025 ARL Committee. Would all members of the 2025 ARL Committee please stand and be recognized? I know you're out there. Thank you. All of our scholarship recipients are listed in the program, and several of them from the past year are here with us today. Now, one recipient, Amanda Moreski, CSU Law 2025, is seated on the dais. She will graduate on Sunday, May 18. Make sure to read her testimonial in the program about what her scholarship meant to her. Mandy, please stand. We do what we do for people like Mandy. Yeah, there's a bird flying around, just ignore it. It was here yesterday, too. They haven't, I tried to catch it myself, but then I chickened out. If there are any other scholarship recipients, past or present, here today, would you please also stand? I know John Calabrese, you're here, so anybody who's received a scholarship, please stand. There you go. Thank you. We do what we do for those people. Now, we have a title sponsor and we have 26 gold sponsors for this event. You've seen their names and logos up on the screen and in the program. Through their generosity and support of this event, the Alumni Association will be able to continue to provide the kind of programs, scholarships, and benefits for law students, future lawyers, and the legal community that this institution has provided over the years. Thank you to our title sponsor and to all of our gold sponsors for stepping up and supporting this memorable event. In addition to our title sponsor and gold sponsors, we have many other sponsors, silver, bronze, and table. And you have seen their names and logos on this screen and in the program. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Let's hear it for our sponsors, all of them, okay? Many of you have invested in our program by purchasing a congratulatory announcement in our luncheon program. Please take the program home with you as a souvenir, and please patronize those advertisers. If you're in your program, you also have a list of our trustees, honorary trustees, and life members. They provide leadership and financial support to CSU Law, its students, and the legal community, and among other things, they have provided CLE programs and have mentored law students. I would now ask if our honorary trustees, and officers, would you please stand, and also our life members, if you would all stand. And I know there's some here at the podium, Dean Fisher, Ashley Jones, Stacey McKinley, Judge Sheehan. Thank you all. We are proud that CSU Law has graduated more Ohio judges at all levels than any other law school. Will all of our fine judges and magistrates, even if you're retired, please stand and be recognized? All of our judges and magistrates. And finally, we have a long list of past honorees that are listed in this program. I would like all of our past honorees who are here today, please stand and be recognized. I know there's a bunch here. Come on, guys. I know they're getting tired of standing up. And I'm done for now. I'll be back later. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce my co-MC and the president of our Alumni Association, Ashley Jones. Go ahead, I love Ashley Jones. She is a great leader who gets the job done and gets the job done right. Past presidents as well as future presidents of our association will be judged against Ashley Jones. Ashley is a 2011 graduate of our law school and is a partner at AJLJ Law. Let's have a warm welcome for our president extraordinaire, Ashley Jones.
Good afternoon, and I love Vince Lombardo. Welcome to this year's Luncheon for the CSU Law Alumni Association. Every year that I come to this luncheon, I don't think I can be in any more awe at the ability of our colleagues and our classmates to take our most precious commodity, our time, and stretch and make it into something impactful and beautiful. This room filled with generosity, promise, and hope. Look around, and that is what you will not only see, but feel. And I would ask that you allow yourself to feel it, and when you go back to work and to Outlook and to opposing counsel who make you question why you became a lawyer, I want you to remember this feeling in this room, in the middle of a day on a Tuesday in Cleveland, Ohio. This matters. This year, my expectations for the luncheon are beyond exceeded. Our two honorees, Judge Michelle Sheehan and Stacey McKinley, know a thing or two about exceeding expectations and breaking glass ceilings. Every year, our organization takes on the task of raising as much money as we possibly can so that we can award as many scholarships as we possibly can to law students who need these funds. They need books, they need rent, they need to pay tuition, and sometimes they are hanging on by a thread. These are not wants, these are needs for real people who are dreaming of the type of crazy, stressful, hectic days that we all complain about more often than we should as lawyers, because we have that privilege. And because someone helped pave each of our ways, whether by a scholarship or simply mentorship or believing in us, we have a responsibility to keep laying down bricks for those who come after us. And in speaking of responsibilities, in a room full of nearly 800 lawyers, I would be remiss if I did not mention the oath that we all took as lawyers, be it 1, 10, or 30 years ago. With our right hands raised, we swore or affirmed to support the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the Constitution and the laws of Ohio. Those words mattered then, and they matter now. Serving as president of this organization has been the highest honor of my career, and I am grateful to the many people who have worked alongside me this year. In particular, I would like to thank an individual who not only said yes to an unexpected leadership role, but has led every day since by actions and words. Please help me congratulate Kyle Hutnick with this year's President's Award. And Kyle, please come forward, wherever you are. Nothing like a long walk from the back of the room and a slight jog. And no, he had no idea this was happening, so.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I would also like to thank our Executive Director, Alicia Perazeni, for her steady hand and palpable love for the work and service that we do. She also has the uncanny ability to keep a group of lawyers on task. She's a saint. We've now reached the point in my remarks where I assure you that I am winding down, but also at the point where I need something from you. Many of you are here today on someone else's dime, and that's fine. I'm glad you're here. But you are here as you as well, and you can help lay down a brick for someone else. Vince mentioned the text to give. I will mention it again. You can text LAW, L-A-W, to 243-725. I know you're on your phone anyway, or you will be soon, so there's no excuse. There are nearly 800 people here today. I know Vince mentioned giving $7. I like $10 each. And that's math that even most lawyers can figure out. And if some folks gave a little bit or a lot bit more, I'd probably have tears in my eyes at the generosity. And I know the students would, at the promise and at the hope. You can also become a life member of this organization, and then next year when you come, you too will get to stand up and people will clap for you. You'll also feel really great about yourself. If you're interested in doing that, there are forms out on a membership table, or you can drop your card off. Just throw it at us out the door, and we're going to make sure we send you an invoice. Do you get it? Do you understand why we keep asking, why we keep doing this? Be a part of the magic and the feeling in this room. In closing, it is my absolute honor to thank and recognize Vince Lombardo, who has chaired this event for many years and who will now be stepping down to see if he knows how to be retired. To know Vince is to love Vince. He is Cleveland State, he is generosity, he is promise, he is hope. Vince, you have been believing in me and hundreds of other students for many years. It is my pleasure to award you and thank you for your service to the association and this luncheon.
Thank you so much.
I would now like to welcome Dean Lee Fisher, whose leadership and collaboration are so meaningful to all of us.
Before I give my remarks, I'd like Professor Pam Diker-Middow to make her way to the stage, because I'm about to present her with an award before I do that. So, Professor Diker-Middow, would you come up? She's way back there. Okay. While she's coming up to the stage, I want to say something about Ashley Jones and Vince Lombardo. I've had the honor to work with 9 different presidents of this association. Each of them have been outstanding. And Ashley, you are amazing. Your dedication to this law school is unparalleled, and I can't thank you enough. So please give another round of applause to our president, Ashley Jones. And I've known Vince Lombardo since we worked together in the Attorney General's office. You can never forget his laugh once you've heard it. He is amazing. He spends hours and hours and hours on a volunteer basis putting together this luncheon. Another round of applause for Vince Lombardo. Each year it's my honor to present the Dean Wilson Stapleton Award for Faculty Excellence. Dean Stapleton was the longest-serving dean of our law school from 1946 to 1967, 21 years. And this year we're giving it to somebody who many of you know, Professor Pam Diker-Middow. Professor Diker-Middow, and I'm going to call her Pam today, is a 1988 graduate of our law school and was hired as a staff attorney in our street law clinic. For over 35 years, she has worked in our clinical program. In 2008, she created the Community Advocacy Law Clinic and remains the director of that clinic. And she also serves as the director of our pro bono program and our solo practice incubator. Under her direction, law students have volunteered thousands of hours of service to the local community. In addition to supervising externships, she teaches 3 different courses: Community Advocacy Law Clinic, the Transition to Practice, and Law, Literature, and Film. She's been a leader in promoting literacy in Cleveland for many, many years with the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association, and in 2014, she won the Justice for All Volunteer Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for Professor Pam Diker-Middow.
Thank you. Thanks again.
I also want to say a few words about our honorees. They are 2 of my best friends. I've known both of them for a long, long time. Stacey McKinley, I knew long before she was even a law student. And Stacey has been dedicated to this law school for decades and is a wonderful adjunct professor. Judge Michelle Sheehan, and of course, her wonderful husband, Judge Brendan Sheehan, are iconic in this community. And Judge Michelle Sheehan in particular takes under her wing so many of our students, a lot of whom who are here today. No judge, and I repeat, no judge in Ohio takes more time with our students than Judge Michelle Sheehan. Thank you, Judge. This afternoon is a bittersweet moment for me because, as some of you know, I'm going to be stepping down as dean when my current term ends on June 30th to become the 10th president of Baldwin-Wallace University. And I'm always going to cherish my time serving this iconic law school. It really has been, for the last 9 years, the honor of my life. I've no doubt that even better and brighter days lie ahead for CSU Law, for the university, under the extraordinary leadership of 2 people. They were announced just several hours ago as the new 2 co-interim deans of CSU Law, and I'd like them to stand. Co-interim Dean Carolyn Broyne-Jacobs and co-interim Dean Brian Ray. Working with President Bloomberg and Provost Streetar, I think there are better, brighter, bolder days ahead for our university and for our law school. You know, the thread that has bound everything together for me, it's been our North Star, has been our students. There's nothing more meaningful to me than to have been part of their journey. We are a law school on the rise. We've recently enrolled the largest first-year class in 15 years, a 96% increase in enrollment since I arrived in 2016. We broke new ground by being one of the first law schools in the nation to launch a part-time online JD program providing access to legal education for those who never had access before in their lives. This Sunday, I'll address the 9th class of graduates I've been privileged to work with, as they're going to step into the world with all of you at the most challenging time, maybe in American history, in our legal profession. And I'm going to remind them of our mission: learn law, live justice. And as I tell them at orientation, and as I will tell them at commencement, you are not just law students, you are not just lawyers. You are now lawyer leaders. You're custodians of civility. You're defenders of democracy. And you are guardians of justice. My deep thanks to all of you for your trust in me, for leading this extraordinary law school for the last 9 years. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you an extraordinary leader. She is the president of Cleveland State University. I've had the privilege during my time at Cleveland State now to work with 3 presidents. All of them were great, but this one is the best. Laura Bloomberg is extraordinary in many ways. She's known nationally from her days when she was the dean of the Humphrey School at the University of Minnesota. She landed and hit the ground running. And she has basically taken a challenge and turned it around, working with her team, Provost Streetar, Tim Cosgrove, and the members of the Board of Trustees, and the faculty and staff and the students. And I can honestly say I think that not only is the law school on the rise, but definitely because of Laura Bloomberg, the university is on the rise. Ladies and gentlemen, President Laura Bloomberg.
Good afternoon. First, let me say, Dean Fisher, that standing ovation and extended round of applause was well-deserved indeed, my friend, well-deserved. My great good fortune that as we say goodbye to the Dean of the Law School, 2 great good fortunes. One is that we have fantastic co-interim deans, and 2 is that I've gained a new colleague as a fellow president in Northeast Ohio, and for that I am deeply grateful. Look at all of you. Look at all of you. This is one of my favorite gatherings of the year. As I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the or among the largest gatherings of alumni in any law school across the country. That is a community that you have built, and I think that's fantastic. I imagine, because the vast majority of you here in the audience are graduates of CSU Law, I can make the assumption that you are all gainfully employed or not employed by choice, by retirement. And I can only wish, and I mean this from my heart, I can only wish for you the level of enjoyment in your job that I have in mind. It is the honor of a lifetime to serve as president of this institution, and I want you to know that. The dean talked about graduation next week. Next weekend, we will add 138 newly minted alumni to your ranks. And I know something about you as an alumni group. You welcome new members in a big way, or there wouldn't be so many of you here. Out of this group of alumni came a lot of things. Certainly our 2 honorees today, who are both esteemed in their own right, an enormous level of generosity to pay it forward, all of the judges we saw stand before, and you might know that last week we announced the largest single philanthropic gift from an individual person to Cleveland State University, and that gift came from the ranks of the law school alumni in Walter McCombs. $13 million to the university as a whole, an additional $1.3 million directly to the law school, which is a fantastic contribution. Some of you in this room may have known Walter McCombs. I did not know him directly. I've met his family now and gotten to know them. I want to talk to those of you who I hear knew him. But I want to share something with you about Walter McCombs because it resonates with some of the things you saw in the video. He was an orphan. Walter McCombs was one of 4 sons, orphaned at a very young age and raised by individual families, separated from each other. Walter McCombs bounced around to a lot of foster homes and didn't have a great childhood, didn't have a lot of dreams for himself. So in his estate, he shared the message that it was CSU Law that gave him a chance, that helped him realize his dream of getting a law degree, and that not only that, but invested in him with a scholarship. So when I hear about your generosity and the scholarships enabled in the name of the Alumni Association, I think about Walter McCombs and what an amazing thing you did in the life of that young man at that time. And I want to close with this. Law school graduation is next weekend, but last weekend was our main graduation of all our undergraduates. The provost and I collectively shook the hands of 2,400 plus students as they graduated. And I shared with them a poem. I'm not going to share the whole poem with you today, but there's an opening line of this poem that I want to share with you. It's by one of my great idols, Margaret Wheatley, Meg Wheatley. Some of you may know her work. She wrote a poem in addition to all of her academic writing. The poem is called Turning to One Another. And I think about you today when I think about the opening line of this poem, because I think about the expression, learn law, live justice, and that t-shirt that so many of us have that says Guardians of Justice. And the opening line of that poem is this: there is perhaps no greater power than a community discovering what it cares about. There is perhaps no greater power than a community discovering what it cares about. What you show by your presence here today and your continued engagement with CSU Law is that you are a community that cares about that line, learn law, live justice, and you are, in fact, lawyer leaders. You are, in fact, guardians of justice, and for that, we should all be deeply grateful. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bloomberg and Dean Fisher. I want to thank, and also, well, Ashley in a second, but I want to say that Dr. Bloomberg and Dr. Sridhar, the provost, who is also here today, they come every year. They don't hesitate when I invite them, and we're always grateful that they're here, and also grateful for the support they show of our law school. And Lee, I love you. I don't know what we're going to do without you, but I think I love Carolyn and Brian, and so I think we'll be okay. And Ashley, thank you very much for your remarks, and thank you for this unexpected award. Now, before we get to the main event, I want to recognize three very special people who made this luncheon possible. First, I want to give a very special thank you today to our title sponsor, Howard Mishkin, CSU Law 1980. Howard is a past president, honorary trustee, and life member of our association. He is a member of the CSU Law Hall of Fame class of 2018, and he chaired the ARL committee and emceed this event for 20 years. He is a great lawyer. He is a great guy. This association has no greater friend than Howard Mishkin. Howard, will you please stand up? Table 4, let's recognize Howard. We love you, Howard. Second, this luncheon occurs every year because of our executive director, Alicia Tartabini Perozeni. I love that name. I say it every time I can. She is simply the best. She is competent, she is patient, she is organized, she is extremely accommodating. Please join me in thanking Alicia Perozeni, Tartabini Perozeni, wherever you are. Let's give a round of applause for her. And finally, on a personal note, I am obsessed with this luncheon, morning, noon, and night, as everybody will tell you. And that means my wife is also affected. And she always takes an interest, and she makes great suggestions, and she's like an honorary co-chair. So my deepest thanks to my wife of 43 years, whom I met at CSU Law, Barbara J. Stanford, class of 80. Barbara, stand up. She's at table 53. Stand up. All right, now it is time for the main event. Please read the biographies of the honorees in your program. Both of our honorees, take your program with you, okay? Both of our honorees are accomplished and determined leaders of this great legal community, but they also are so giving of their time to various organizations and to the legal community, as well as to our law school. Our first honoree is a woman for whom I have enormous respect and affection, Stacey McKinley. Stacey, you were an accomplished journalist before you became an accomplished attorney. You've contributed so much to this association and to our law school, and you've done so much for so many through your work with other groups. But more than anything, you are a terrific human being. We all admire your relationship with your mother, and we all admire your loyalty as a friend. And you were just plain fun to be with. Congratulations.
When I first met Stacey, she was better known as Professor McKinley. I was in my second year of law school. She introduced herself and said, "You can call me Stacey because you all will soon be my legal colleagues." She treated our class, the students, as her equal and truly wanted all of us to succeed and join her as alums of our great law school.
She has been devoted to CSU law forever, from the very beginning, from the moment she stepped foot into the classroom as a student to the moment she stepped foot in the classroom as a professor and everywhere in between. As the head of the Alumni Association, on the board, a very active member of the board. Just her overall experience and ability to bring people together, I think, is one of the most telling things about Stacey.
She has put together a very unique and very prosperous and very thoughtful career. She has become an expert not only in nonprofit law, but in how to maximize the impact of charitable gifts for both the institution to which a person is giving and for the individual. You take the personal and the professional qualities and put them together. You are honoring a magnificent woman with this award.
What impresses me most is Stacey's dedication to our organization and the time and commitment she gave to me in ensuring my success during my service as president of the Alumni Association.
You've seen a great amount of giving and support and help that the Alumni Association has provided to the students, both the ones in school and the ones just out of school.
Cleveland State owes her a special debt of gratitude for her commitment to Cleveland State. She was always involved in the Alumni Association, always involved in getting this celebration that we have every year with 400, 500, 600 people, making that happen.
It's the experience and the joy of life that really is probably the most special thing about Stacey.
Stacey's personal life, it just exudes wealth beyond measure. I've seen firsthand as Stacey beams when talking about her mom. It's truly special seeing her commitment to helping her mom live out her golden years independent and with the company of her beloved fur friends.
I am thrilled to be here today with your scores of friends and family members to honor you for your work at Cleveland State and in our community. You've been and are a wonderful, treasured friend and an asset beyond words to all of those you serve. Congratulations. We're so very proud of you.
Stacey, congratulations on receiving the ARL Alumni of the Year Award. Well deserved, and I will see you later for that glass of wine.
Congratulations, Stacey. You are so deserving of this honor. Whether it's impacting Cleveland State University, the Greater Cleveland Food Bank, securing the financial viability of the Cleveland Clinic for the future, or most importantly in this room, your impacts to the law school and on our Alumni Association, you lead the way by your dedication and commitment to everything you endeavor, and you never let us down. And I look forward to many more years of friendship and obviously bottles of wine.
Oh
my goodness, that may have been the longest 5 minutes of my life. Thank you, Colette, John, and Jimmy for those kind remarks. Boy, what an honor to be here today. Thanks to the CSU Law Alumni Association, its trustees, Ashley Jones, who has shown outstanding leadership this year. Alicia Perazini, wherever you are, the glue that holds us together. Michelle, what an honor to be sharing this day with you. I look back on 2008, remember when we were sworn in together to the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C., when your kids were much younger than they are now. It's so great to see them here today. My involvement with the CSU Law Alumni Association dates back to 1997 when I received a scholarship. I remember that evening so well. So 28 years later, what a privilege to be honored by this organization that just means so much to me. And it's done so much to our law school, its alumni, its students, the CLE programs, the mentor program, our social justice initiatives. We even brought the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg to the law school a few years ago via Skype, but that was a proud moment. We faced some challenges and changes over time, but I would not trade the time I have spent with this organization for anything. The friendships I made, I treasure so much. And I have got to thank past President Jill Patterson, who came here from Arizona to be here today. Thank you to the members of my class, the class of 1997, who are here today, including Anthony Parker, who is going to give our benediction later. My 88-year-old mother is here. Thank you, Deborah, for helping get here today. My sister is here, my sister Sherry, and my nephew William, who is considering law school. So any words of encouragement, go over to table 6. I have so many dear friends who are here today. You know who you are. I wish I could mention all of you. Many of them are right here. I'm just so grateful that you are here. Dean Lee Fisher, oh my, you will be so missed. But you are leaving the law school in a better place than when you arrived. But it's now time for you to do your magic at Baldwin Wallace University. And speaking of Dean Fisher, was it the week before last, in his State of the Law School address, he quoted his son Jason, who said that he aspires to work at a job that has not been invented yet. And it reminded me that the job I had no idea what it was when I went to law school. It wasn't until years later that my dear friend Colette Gibbons introduced me to a gentleman, Patrick Ertl, also a graduate of this law school who sadly we lost last year, who helped me get my job at Cleveland Clinic. I am a charitable gift planner with the Cleveland Clinic, which means I work with donors who are including Cleveland Clinic in their estate planning, whether it's through a bequest, trust, life insurance. It also includes current assets, things like art, real estate, retirement plans. I always say anything more complicated than a check. I have the privilege of using my legal background in philanthropy, and I certainly meet some wonderful people. It's this job that led to me being asked to serve as an adjunct professor at the law school, where I've been teaching nonprofit corporations since 2011. And so many students past year are here today. It's been such a privilege and a great joy to be in the classroom at the law school. It really made me realize how many options one has with a law degree. I try to remind my students to try to take the time to find a career path that is right for you. And if it doesn't happen right away, it's okay to pivot. I did, and it was the best thing I'd ever done. So along those lines, I would be remiss if I did not encourage all of you, if you haven't done so already, to include charitable giving in your estate planning. I've seen the joy it brings to donors and their families. You heard about the recent $15 million gift to CSU from a law school alum, Walter McCombs, an estate gift. So you can imagine the joy that it brought President Bloomberg and our Dean Lee Fisher. I encourage you to, 15 million is a large ask, but whatever you could do, I encourage you to consider doing the same. Now, in wrapping up, I promise Vince, if you want to bring a smile to Vince's face, please don't forget the text to give. Again, your donations support law school scholarships. And to wrap up, thank you, everyone. It's a wonderful day, a memorable day that I will never forget. Thanks to my family and friends and everybody here.
I have the honor to introduce our co-honoree, Judge Michelle Sheehan. Judge Sheehan has a resume a mile long, including serving on the 8th District Court of Appeals since 2019. Prior to being on the bench, Judge Sheehan was a shareholder at Reminger and litigated cases in both state and federal court for 25 years. While in private practice, she was certified as an appellate specialist by the Ohio State Bar Association. She has represented clients in appellate matters before the Ohio Supreme Court, the Sixth Circuit, and almost every appellate district in Ohio. What you might not know about Judge Sheehan is that she has a long history with the Law Alumni Association, including serving as the CLE chair for a decade. She is at her core a helper and a doer. She continually gives her time and talent. It is not uncommon to see her at the courthouse with a trail of students following her and soaking up her wisdom. She creates opportunities for students to learn, going out of her way to teach them how to be lawyers. She quite frankly does things that she does not have to do, and that is what makes her so special and so impactful. And she always does it with a smile and kindness. I don't know if there's a better example of professionalism than Judge Michelle Sheehan. She teaches through actions and words, and it is beyond fitting that she would be an Alumni of the Year for the Law School Alumni Association, whose alma mater states, learn law, live justice, because that is what she has spent her career doing. Congratulations to Judge Michelle Sheehan.
I can't imagine my life without her. My pickup line for Michelle was, I was working for Judge Nugent as his bailiff. I said, hey, why don't you come meet my judge?
I have known her throughout her career and her relationship, of course, with Brendan. And she was so amenable to understanding what her role would be as a judge hearing cases differently at a trial court level, because she had not been a trial judge, and nor had I.
We weren't told we could just do anything. We were shown it. My mom, when she left her career at Reminger and ran for the Court of Appeals, it was just a huge risk. And now that I'm older and starting my own career, I realize how hard it must have been.
Michelle has always dove in. Whenever she gets involved, she rolls up her sleeves and she just dives in and wants to do her best. She was on the Cleveland State Law Board of Trustees. She was on the Law School Alumni Association. She's on the 8th District Judicial Conference. She was the president of the Ohio Women's Bar Association.
As a professional, she does what I think all judges try to do, and that is to reach the next generation of lawyers and judges and to give them an opportunity to grow.
She's been the most passionate lawyer and impactful judge. But I mean, she's just mom. So the person you can go to anything for help. She's always looking to bring more people into the legal world. If you have a friend who's ever said they're interested in law, she's always trying to meet them.
We talk about this in terms of the pattern you can set for the next generation of family members who are coming along, and they see what you have done, not only the humble beginnings, but the audacity to run for the Court of Appeals and not having served on the trial court can be magnificently strenuous. That's the only way I could describe it.
For someone who is so involved in both their career and their family, Michelle has juggled those responsibilities amazingly. She's present for our kids, for her family, for her friends, and for me.
Mom, I know you don't love the spotlight, but you absolutely deserve this. Me, Michaela, and Aaron are so proud of your dedication, hard work, and passion. You inspire so many people. Congratulations.
Michelle, I am so proud to be your friend, colleague, and share this extraordinary moment with you and your family. You have done all of the hard work, and you deserve every moment of this recognition.
Michelle, I want to congratulate you. In my eyes, there was no one more deserving of this honor. I'm so proud of you and grateful for you for everything you do for our community and our family.
Thank you. My son is absolutely correct. I do not enjoy the spotlight. But it is wonderful to see so many friends and familiar faces here. Shout out to class of 1993. We got a whole table up here. Woo-hoo. I want to take a second to thank everybody here at the head table, President Bloomberg, Dean Fisher, Provost Sherdar, Father Klebo, Reverend Parker, and of course, President Ashley Jones, and the best annual recognition luncheon chair we have, Vince. We're going to really miss you. Thank you for all you do. This is also my moment to take 30 seconds they gave me, though, to recognize Dean Fisher, because we really go way back. You were technically my first employer at the Attorney General's office back in the day. But the law school wouldn't be what it is without you and your leadership, and we wish you nothing but the best going forward. And Stacey, I couldn't think of anyone better to share this spotlight with. I am so happy, congratulations, and thank you for all you do in the law community. But I really find a lot of irony here. I find life has a really funny way of working, because I can remember sitting in your seats in the early 90s, fresh out of law school, and thinking, there is no way I will be standing on this stage. But as a first-generation college and law student, it wasn't easy, but it was a road that has been filled with strong mentors, silver linings, and a lot of help along the way. So growing up, I had the benefit of a very strong single mother who did, as Timmy mentioned, it told my brothers and I we could do anything we wanted. I had a father who was a union worker who defied the odds and became a tool and die maker, despite being born with deformed hands. And it's truly their dedication and work ethic that I carry with me today. And it also really helps to have a strong network of friends, so many in this room today, some stemming back from high school, as well as the self-proclaimed badass squad over there who's had my back every step of the way and continues to push me forward. Thank you. But the big secret was I never had law school or a lawyer on my radar. Growing up, I wanted to be a secretary like my mother, and then shows like Madlock and Court TV came along, and I was fascinated with court reporters and paralegals, until a lawyer that many of you probably know, Jay Schlackett, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, but he let me shadow him. He's going to hate me for saying this. My senior year in high school. And it was him who said, just go to law school. So I said, great, I'll just go to law school. I didn't know any lawyers except him. I didn't know how to get there. I had no money. And I got waitlisted at all the other law schools, except CSU Law. I truly believe they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And I'm so grateful they took a chance with me. In law school, I really did find a community and literally a family. Sat behind me was Chris Santoni, who went on to become my roommate, my colleague at Reminger, my maid of honor, and she was part of that group of law students who, when I met this bailiff one weekend, they strongly encouraged me to go on a date. That bailiff was Brendan Sheehan, and truly, I didn't know what a bailiff was, and he's right. He said, come meet my judge, and I couldn't understand why I had to go meet his judge. But I did, and that judge was Judge Donald C. Nugent, who was so grateful, and when he ran for the Court of Appeals and was on the Court of Appeals, he let me extern, and as much as I admire your mentorship and your advice, Judge Nugent, I walked away thinking, I do not want to work at the Court of Appeals. That is so boring. But again, it's funny how life works, right? I needed a job, and the student that sat next to me said, apply to my dad's firm. Great. What's his name? Gary Goldwasser at Reminger. Great, I'll apply. Unbeknownst to me, 27 years later, I was still there, but I learned the practice of law from some of the best legal minds in our community, and I'm so grateful for that, and I know so many of them are here today. Gary came out of retirement. I see Frank Leonetti, Roy Hume is here, I don't know if Mario Ciano's in the room, Brian Sullivan, Holly Wilson, so many people. I know Matt O'Connell, I'll stop there. But thank you very much for learning the practice of law. But it was also Scott Ponzer, the case, not the person, that led me back to the love of the Court of Appeals, running around the state of Ohio and state and federal court. And I am so proud to be able to serve on the 8th District Court of Appeals with my passion of the Court of Appeals. But we all know it wouldn't be possible without the one man in my life, my husband, Brendan Sheehan, who I am proud to say is probably the only husband ever to say he's never right at home and he's never right at work. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you, Brendan. But at the Court of Appeals, I found another community with mentors like Judge Patricia Blackman, who always challenged me, do your best, and help others along the way. And because of that, the internship program was formed. In my first term, we had over 100 students come through at college and high school, college, and law school, really. And this summer I have 13. A little bit more than I expected, but that's okay. And we couldn't do it without a strong administrative assistant, Liz Maloney. Thank you very much for keeping us all on track, myself included. But it's also, I know it's my passion, and I have no greater joy than working with first-generation students again. And now, the children of many of my classmates. And many of them are here today. I see you, Riley Hardacre, and Nick Goldwasser, and all of you coming. But that leads me to my children. As a mother, it's hard enough working and raising a family, but Aaron, Michaela, and Timmy, you've been wonderful. I know it's difficult being raised by 2 lawyers, let alone 2 judges, and I know you've been cross-examined most of your life, but thank you for your love and support. Aaron is a first-year resident in general surgery up in Michigan. Michaela is killing it in New York City as a social media graphic designer, working with clients like Gwen Stefani, Foo Fighters. You'll see all her TikToks online. And our son, Timmy, who you saw in the video, has also decided to pursue a career in law. And I am proud to say he's going to be a 1L at CSU Law this fall. And finally, to CSU Law, the reason we're here today, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm proud to be part of the CSU Law family, and thank you for taking a chance with me. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for being with us today. I think that we promised you that you would feel inspired and that you would feel the impact of this room, and I do believe that we have delivered that. Let's give another round of applause for Judge Michelle Sheehan and Stacey McKinley. Reverend Anthony T. Parker is going to give our benediction, and I'm so proud to introduce him as a dear friend. I do hope, and I know you probably know what I'm going to say, I do hope that you give today. Thank you.
Let us pray. Holy Father, we leave here with these blessings, the joy of fellowship as we shared memories, laughter, and hope, the beauty of celebration as our honorees are reminded their work is appreciated, and lastly, the blessing of the common goal to pursue justice with hands of compassion, a heart full of grace, with the underlying tone of mercy. We leave with these, your blessings bestowed upon us. Amen.
Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate it. It's not bad, 110.